Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. We finally did it. A Zwift Racing League win in the bag. And not only that, I got upgraded to category B. Not that that makes a difference anymore because the categories are now the Zwift Racing Score. Anyway, firstly, I'd like to say thank you to everybody on my last Zwift Racing League video who decided to put a comment and some great advice, some really good advice. Top of those was be better, which I thought really hit the spot. But no, a lot of comments were really constructive that said, you know, have a plan, stick to it, don't waste your energy, draft a lot. So I really took your advice on board and obviously won this race. So yeah, thank you so much for all of that. Now, part of obviously this win is the build up to it, and as most of you will know, since July, I've been on a structured training program, which has really seen my fitness increase and improve since then. And I've been working hard every week. You know, I've been cycling probably 6 times a week for 7+ hours, which is more than I would normally do, but I'm definitely seeing results. So I'd like to shout out to my my coach, Costa at the NRC-Team. He's been fantastic, such a nice guy, giving me loads of encouragement all the way throughout. And it's working. The training is obviously working. So link in the description. Hit up Costa at the NRC-Team if structured training is your thing and you wanna start improving, or you've hit that plateau and you want to really sort of improve. Anyway, let's get on with this race. And this was a really hilly one. Glyph Heights, I believe it was called. It's 19 and a bit miles long, quite a few little hills and inclines involved. We got up the grade, and the first thing I wanted to do off the bat was just relax and try and stay in the pack and try and draft and not react to any sort of move that was going off the front. Now, the plan that I had before this one was obviously up these first little 2 climbs, so the Mayan Mountains KOM and then Itza climb. I wanted to just draft. I wasn't worried about getting any first across the line, but I just wanted to stay within the front of the pack and save as much energy. And then on the grade, I really wanted to go for it. And I've been watching some races earlier in the day, and I thought if I've got a 30-second gap after about, I don't know, a minute or so of doing it, maybe a couple of minutes, then I'm going to go for it. If I've got anything less than 30 seconds, then I'm going to pull back, sit in the pack, and then make another attack kind of a lap later at this point. And well, you'll see what happened anyway. So the first part of this this little climb here, and heart rate is 161, 162, so it's pretty high, but I felt really comfortable at this point, and I wasn't afraid that a couple have gone off the front there, because I actually thought, well, I'm sure that'll get brought back in a second. You know, there's a few behind me, as you can see on the little mini map. And I thought it's just going to get all brought back together. People at the front are going to want to have a little rest anyway. So I trusted that would happen rather than chase everything down, which is one of the mistakes that I made in a previous week, a couple of weeks ago. Now, my teammates played a massive role as well, because we had a couple of the guys up the front who were really pushing the pace, which meant that I could just sit in and let everybody else chase. So I think that actually played a really big part in the outcome of this race. And as you can see, I'm in a pretty good position. I'm getting a little bit of rest here. As I said before, my heart rate, because of my training, tends to kind of go down to, you know, like a zone 2 level quite quickly now, which, I don't know, really has helped me recover. Now, the additional thing I did on this race is I fueled well, so I made sure that I did have a little coffee beforehand, actually, which helps, but it didn't help me with getting to sleep after this race, I'll tell you that. So just be aware, if you're having coffee at 7:30 at night, it is not good. Anyway, so I actually did recon this course as well the day before when I was doing a little kind of activation workout. So I knew roughly what to expect on this second climb, and I thought once again it's going to kick off. And the other thing that I did, I know I keep saying other things that I did, but it was a pretty good race, this one, is I used my power-ups pretty well. Like, I knew I was going to get one every time. I wasn't actually worried about getting the draft fan, because I know there was just the feather and the draft fan that you could get. And luckily for me, I did actually get the feather every single time. But yeah, once again, I knew that there was a little steep bit coming here before the kind of plateau, but I can see the end here. And once again, I'm just going to let people go off the front. I'm really not going to chase anything down. I don't want them to get too far, but in terms of the first across the line and the fastest through points, I'm happy to just let them go, because the main aim for me is just to get the race win here. That's what I want. As we crest here, I'm in ninth position, so I still get some first cross the line points. And yeah, here's where it really happens, to be honest with you. So I've got a good little bit of momentum coming down this little decline before obviously the grade. Now, people that have just gone off the front and obviously won the first cross the line are resting. I knew Pitt, who won the race a couple of in the last Zwift Racing League race. He was behind me, and here's the time. I thought, right, just put down what you feel comfortable. So I wasn't necessarily looking at a wattage. I was just putting my pressure down on the pedals and just seeing what felt comfortable at this point. And I felt okay. And if you can have a look at the time there, I've got 12 seconds already on the person behind. And I'm like, right, I'm going to give it a little bit longer just to see what happens. And, you know, by the time I know it, by this kind of next turn here, if you're looking at the main bunch, they're over 30 seconds now. They're coming up to 40 seconds. There's one person that's kind of trying to catch me, and they're a bit off the main kind of bunch. But I'm just doing the best to hold a consistent watt here, without getting my heart rate too high. And I was the guy from YouTube. Sorry, I didn't reply at that point. I was in a bit of pain, to be honest with you. But I was just focusing on the end of this, the end of the grade here, and just trying to get as much of a gap as I possibly could. Now, I know that if you're in a group of people, obviously going downhill, you can lose a good 30 seconds just because the group behind are either A, working together, or B, there's more of a draft effect, and actually, you know, you tend to go down the actual, you know, the decline a bit faster. So I knew that this was probably coming up one of the main bits where I just needed to push on, because I was hoping that everyone would take a little bit of a break after the actual grade itself, and rely on everyone else to do the chasing. And I thought, you know what, I've just got to put down as much as I can possibly do, and then get to the downhill bit, give it a little bit of a sprint and see where we are. But, you know, I got just over a minute from second place. I got a minute and a half from the pack. So at this stage, I'm thinking, you know what, it could actually happen. I could potentially do this. What I need to do is just keep focused, not completely, I don't know, use all my energy, but just get to this little plateau here, and see where we're at. But I was in a lot of pain, if I'm honest with you. It was a really, really attritional race. You know, I expected it to be over an hour long, and obviously doing it by myself, I just had to keep concentrating. Now, I did a little spurt of energy here, so I learned from obviously that race where I lost people when they did that before. So that was a good bit of learning that I've taken there. And you know, same again, just trying to keep up the speed up via these little rolly bits here, which I did pretty well, I felt. Just trying to keep my speed up to, you know, high 40s, 50 miles an hour on this downhill bit. But, you know, once again, so far so good. And I know now that I've really not got long left in this race. I'm kind of thinking, well, I've got maybe 15 minutes or so, or just over 15 minutes coming up. So I know I need to, this is like, this bit here for me, I was like, right, you just need to give it pretty much everything you've got, because there'll be people that are rested, that will be coming off that hill, that will probably want to try and catch me. But you can see the person behind me has already been caught by the group behind. But there's only really, I don't know, 3 main chasers and then another little pack that's broken up behind that. So I'm thinking, you know, unless they're really going to work hard, I've got a great opportunity here to win this race. And, you know, at the same time in the head, I'm planning my celebration already. Well, no, I wasn't really. I was in too much pain to think of that. But, you know, if I wanted to win a race, one of these races, I can't really think of a better way to do it than, you know, making a break. I mean, winning a sprint at the end of a race is obviously brilliant. But at the end of the day, you know, doing all this work solo is just, I don't know. I was just absolutely buzzing after this one. It was such a good result. I went in immediately and said to my wife, I've won the race. And she said, what are you talking about? I said, well, I was Zwift. And she said, use what? So, yeah, that was a fun one now, actually. She was very happy that I obviously won this one, probably. Anyway, so we're coming up to the final little part now, and I've got over 2 minutes. So I really, you know, what I did there through the jungle was good, because it kind of probably, well, I'm sure it may have broken their spirits. And now, I thought, you know what, give it give it the most that I've got, or the most that I could do up this little bit here, because once again, I'm sure the group behind are going to try and get the fastest 3 points. But I wasn't overly interested in getting the fastest 3 points. So I was concentrating on the win, and just preserving that. Now, at no point, did I slow down. I wanted to do the best that I possibly could during this race, because for me, a win and an upgrade or whatever, I'm happy with that. I want to progress through the categories. I want to get better. That's the whole point of Zwifting. I want to be the best version of me. And so far so good. Just coming up to the finishing line here, and a win by over 2 minutes at this point. So, I just want to say thank you to everyone. I know it's only a Category C Zwift race, but it's still a nice thing to achieve at the end of the day. And thank you for all of your support. A great team result as well here. So we're still in first position, which is great. And I'll put up the old Zwift Power results as well. But thank you so much for all your support, all your kind words. And hopefully we'll see what we can do in the next category up, whatever that may be. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. And I'll see you on the next one.